What's up, babe? No, there's no countdown. It's just whenever I have to, like when I start a stream, I have to open up these two chat windows. Well, first of all, I have to log into the Twitch and then go to my dashboard, get my chat windows and full screen them and then move them to my screen. And then I got to do the same thing with YouTube. And then I have to split them. Then I have to load up my browser, get my project set up. Then I have to load up my code editor, make sure I have my server running, my database running with Docker, and then also have my tunnel set up to my server. So it takes a little bit of time to get all this stuff set up. But I probably should have a countdown, right? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Crack D Skeleton and Tina Seibert, who's my wife, by the way. Oh, Pedro Tech, how's it going? Let me give you a shout out. I've seen his YouTube. I think he like started doing YouTube videos a while back too, kind of like when I started. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to Pedro Tech. He's another YouTuber. Does a bunch of React stuff. I'm guessing he's doing Next.js now. Cool. Everyone on YouTube basically does like the same stack, and then we all migrate over to something else when it becomes hyped up. So, shout out to Pedro Tech. Go give him a follow. Then I have to stare at a picture of my wife. I do. I have those little blocks next to me. I got the little blocks. They sit on my computer desk. My kids always take them though, and they move them somewhere else. Let me see if I can find the other block. Me and my wife. Then I have some kids too. I don't want to share my kids on the stream though. Love you, babe. Thanks for tuning in on the stream. I should just teach you Python on this stream, okay? Since you won't come up here and learn Python, I'm going to teach you. What's up, Andres Court? No one on Twitch? Yeah, one thing I wanted to do is I have like a subscribe section on this landing page, but I removed it because I didn't add the subscribe functionality. And there's also a bug. There was a bug. I made a video this morning about it where like when I navigate different routes, this wasn't staying green. So let's fix that first because someone left a suggestion in the comments. So I figured I might as well like fix that real quick. In the header, I'm manually getting like the route state. Someone was saying that I don't need to do that. So instead, I can actually put active props, and then I think I can put active options exact of false, and that should hopefully fix it. It doesn't seem like it fixes it. So I guess we should go to the Tanstack docs. This would be a router thing. So let's go to the router. And then I want to look for exact true, which would be on the link component. Active options. Active options, exact false. When creating navigation, you might loop over an array to construct navigation, in which link options can be used to type check an array of object literals which are intended for link. Yeah, I don't know. Like, someone left a comment said I can do this. which is supposed to like not to be an exact match on this thing, and it'll still turn this to active props. But like with the moment I click on one of these different routes, it's just like, it's like toggling on and off. Very strange. So I don't know if that's a bug in Tanstack Router, or if I just don't know what I'm doing. Probably the second one. Usually I don't know what I'm doing, and then someone will correct me with a comment. But this time, the comment did not fix my issue, so maybe it's a bug. Anyway, what was I going to do? Oh, we got a super chat, a BGN10. I don't even know what currency is that. Bulgarian Lev. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that super chat. It's 2 a.m. and I have to work tomorrow, but wanted to hop on and say hello before I go to bed. Hey, I appreciate that. Thanks for hopping on. Is this a Rust stream? Are we building everything with Rust? Nope. Check out and give some career advice. Check out what? What am I checking out? We got 4 viewers on Twitch. Can I get a wave emoji in the chat if you're watching? All right, yeah, what was I saying? I want to get a newsletter component. So like on the main route, by the way, if you don't know how Tanstack Router works, we have this routes folder, pretty straightforward. The index is going to be like the root of whatever the path is. It's a file-based routing system. So index will map to my landing page. And then I have a newsletter section that's commented out. So if I just import it, it should show up somewhere right here. And in fact, I might move this more to the top just because I'm going to rename the text here. Let AI just do the copy for me because no one reads the stuff anyway. Like, does anyone actually read the stuff when you go to a landing page? Like, I don't feel like people read anything. So let's just go ahead and just put some arbitrary stuff. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say, I plan to add more challenges to this course. So subscribe to get some updates when I do. Also, I may send out coupons. I feel like this was written pretty badly, so again, let's just say, can you rewrite this from a professional marketing landing page career expert to make people want to subscribe without being too markety? Look at that. Let's see what it does. Sometimes it's fun to just play around with AI and see what it can give you, because like it'll give you different ideas that you didn't think about, and it can help you refine the original idea to make it better. But I think I must have ran out of fast credits. I've been using it a lot, so stay ahead of the curve. Okay, this already sounds bad. Join our community to receive early access to new content and special discounts. I like this one sentence. That's it. And it kind of blends in with the background. I feel like maybe this should be something else. Like this should probably have like a border top. Oh, instead of, I'll do neon. Let's see, theme. I think it's like border theme. There, nice and green in your face. Hey, thanks for the follow. Yeah, it's a little much. Let me try 200. Too bad. Might even reduce the padding of this. Okay, request access, and this input box just doesn't, it's just the request access. I want to change it to be green, so I could change this to a button. And I need to make it like not so small. Why is this thing flex column. Why is this a flex column? Input button. Oh, I see. When it's small, it goes to flex row. Gotcha. Do I just want to give this a fixed height? I'm sure there's a way to just make it expand. Let me try this. I'm going to do a height of like 12. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of a lot. Let's just do this. Let's do that. Let's go back to 12. That looks good enough, I guess. Oh, let me plug in my laptop. All right, let's use you at company.com. I don't like the placeholder. Like everyone knows what a subscription. Up, what is up, Web Alchemist? What's up, Dabby? Guys, this is pre-recorded. Look at the description. Okay. What is the description of this video? I should probably go and make sure it's not something dumb. Let me go back to it. Hold on. Should probably turn ads on YouTube, right? Nah, probably not. Have I tried Gemini 2.5 Pro? I have not. What's up, Suno LV? Welcome. First time chat. Okay, so I do have like a subscribe. If you go to like my WebDev Cody site, I do have. Oh, this is all busted. What's going on there? I got to redo this whole site. The plan is I want to add my course. Oh, I already have a course here, but this is probably pointing to my Gumroad course. I'm trying to like not use Gumroad as much for my courses and like use my own thing because like if I can build it myself, why not, you know? But I do have a subscribe button here already, which is hooked to my own custom like Go mailer that's written, well, I already told you it's written in Go, but it's hosted on Railway. And I think I can just send my subscriptions to that endpoint. But I need to double check some stuff, like to make sure that I have give me a second to see. Here we go. Somewhere in here, I think this is written with Next.js, or is this written with Hano or Next.js? Looks like it's probably written Next.js. All right, this has a reCAPTCHA setup on it. Next public reCAPTCHA site key. for the button. Give it the same padding. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'll go back and fix that. Yeah, I'm going to try to add the newsletter subscription here like I did on the other page. So like on the newsletter, we have this form. I think I just need to wrap it. Let me just move some of this stuff out. Move all this stuff out. And then the reason I'm doing this is if I install whatever provider this is, I think it's like built into Next reCAPTCHA 3. Oh, I'm using Tanstack, so I can't use this. I got to figure out the old-fashioned way. How do I look this up? reCAPTCHA. React Google reCAPTCHA is... Okay, well, Google's AI is telling me I should use something like this, which is using React Google reCAPTCHA. So let's go to React Google reCAPTCHA on NPM and kind of take a peek at what this is doing. All you need to do is sign up for an API key pair. Okay. Looks like you just embed it in your form. When you submit it, you'll get the reCAPTCHA value. I mean, it looks easy enough, right? This is what the AI also suggested. So I'm kind of like cross-referencing two different suggestions, and it looks like it's probably just using the information that it found online about it. So I'll just go ahead and install this real quick. Move this to the top. Cut this out. Put it in my form. Go here, delete this stuff. On change. reCAPTCHA ref. Guess I'll make a ref here. Maybe a string. Bro, this is from the NPM docs themselves. They're giving a blank ref. Don't think I'd make a difference though. Let's see what this thing actually is. On change. There's like no type safety here. That's great. But technically I don't even need to do my whole like form thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and just put this back where it was. Keep this simple. I feel like I was overcomplicating it. So I'll put this back. This is not even finding this. Do I need to save types? Okay, it has to be reCAPTCHA. Okay. It'd be so nice if the example was in TypeScript. Like, they also don't even show where they defined the on change. Like, if you're gonna make all you need to do is okay. Why do they have so many different examples? Why is one a ref and one's an on change? Like, I guess the ref is if you want to do some special stuff here. The on change is how you actually get. Oh, this is for V2. I don't even want V2. Well, that was awesome. There you go. That's how you waste a bunch of time because you did not read the version. Of course, I can't use this. It's probably just not ready for React 19. It needs React 18. Cool beans. What's your favorite framework? Next.js is pretty good. I switched over to Tanstack Start recently. It's pretty good. Currently watching while doing schoolwork. Love the stream. Hey, thanks. Have you tried building a SaaS before? Yeah, I built a couple things. They never really go anywhere though, honestly. Is this Cursor or VS Code? It's Cursor. All right, what's up, YouTube? Let's see. By the way, the button just gives the same padding as the input. No? Oh, I see. Can you show how to implement item potency for Stripe payments? I mean, I guess it depends. Like, do they send you multiple events at the same time? Maybe that's something I should know. I'm pretty sure they only send you one event, and if you don't return like a 200 status code, then they retry in the future that same event. I don't think Stripe is going to send you the same event twice, though. But if you find that somewhere in the docs they say that they will send you the same event twice, let me know. No, you're good with asking questions. That's fine. That's why I do streams, so you guys can ask me questions. I don't get a chance to actually talk to anyone about coding other than when I stream or on my Discord channel, which, by the way, I have a Discord channel. Check out the description, not of this stream, because for some reason YouTube doesn't auto-populate my streams with the descriptions. Go check out one of my videos. Or I think my YouTube profile has it. Okay, well, I can't use this. Published 2 years ago, doesn't work with React 19, so then we have to go dive into the issues. Oh, what you know, the top of the list is React 19 compatibility, opened 2024. Isn't open source great? I just moved to this package and confirmed that it works like a charm. Next reCAPTCHA, I'm not using Next. Okay, let's check out React reCAPTCHA 3. This was updated last month. Okay, that's a decent sign. You have a provider, you give it your key, then use a reCAPTCHA component, use the onVerify prop to get the token. They give you some examples. What's the worst that can happen? You know, install some random package that probably doesn't have any maintainers. Let me just check this out real quick. Got 352 downloads. Okay, second thing, look through the code a little bit because you don't want to install something that could potentially have some security vulnerability in it, right? Not that I'd be able to read through this and really know, but if you look at the main type module, typically there's like a main. Where's the main? Packages? Oh, okay, packages. Here's the package. Main is disindex.js. So here's the file, index.ts, reCAPTCHA, reCAPTCHA provider, reCAPTCHA.js. Just make some context, some utils, document create script. Okay, so they're going to inject a script into my code. Let's try to figure out where that's being used. Default script props. Load Google reCAPTCHA script. Return www.host reCAPTCHA script params. Why would host be configurable? Use reCAPTCHA.net. Is that the right URL? reCAPTCHA.net? Maybe I should just go to Google and actually like learn how to do this properly. Google.com reCAPTCHA API. Automatically bind the challenge to a button. Easiest method for using reCAPTCHA v3 on your page is to include the necessary JavaScript resource and add a few attributes to each button. Yeah, I mean, something about this seems kind of, I mean, it seems legit, but the fact that you're installing a package that just injects a script into your page kind of makes me not feel very comfortable. So I think I'm going to try to just do it myself and waste the entire stream doing it because I probably will not be able to figure it out. So let's go to the root. I think the root is where you can inject scripts, and technically I only need it on the index page. So like, I think if I just added it to the index, I think I can do script. This is built into Tanstack. Okay, so you can run, you can like load scripts, I believe. Oh, here it is. The scripts component is required to render the body scripts. You know, let me see if I can just do it the good old way. Using an effect, load this script, Google reCAPTCHA v3. What were we trying to build? I spent 2 months building a portfolio project just to forget that the free trial for the Google Cloud APIs are so limited. I get 32 requests a day. You know, I tried building an application where I could like publish YouTube videos automatically to YouTube from the app. Like if you guys remember that scary story generator, which I renamed to the video crafter. Like I tried requesting permissions to get my app approved to like be able to auto upload YouTube videos. I just never heard back from them. Like it's kind of like defeating where it's like, dude, I just want to build a nice application and then like Google never reaches back out to you. But then again, I kind of also dropped that project because I felt like I was contributing to the AI slop of the world. And so I'm like, yeah, maybe this isn't a good application. I don't want people to flood YouTube with like AI generated videos. What style? I think I'm using Creamy. I'm using Cream, yeah, for Clack. What do you think about using React Native and Expo for web? I did a sponsor video with Expo. I liked it a lot. Honestly, I would probably use Expo again. Like if I wanted to build a side project and get it deployed to a mobile application, I would use Expo. But mainly it's because I don't know anything else, right? I haven't used like, what other options are there, honestly? Swift? Objective-C? Like I'm not going to go and learn Swift and Objective-C, to be honest with you all. I wanted to just build an app around their place search for people to search for places. Like, yeah, I just like, how do you get approved? How do you get them to actually approve your app? I feel like Google's one of those companies that got so big and got so much money that they don't know how to actually ship value. It's like they just make money off of their money and their stocks and their investments. And they're just slow to actually like ship features and do stuff. They also have so many users that it's very hard to like add features, I believe. Like I used to complain all the time on YouTube. Like it took them like 10 plus years to add A/B testing to YouTube thumbnails. Like why did it take so long to do something simple? But I don't work there, so I don't know like what stuff they have to trudge through to even get stuff done. It's probably crazy. I think it's a Vite public CAPTCHA ID key, something like that. I hope I don't have anything in my .env file. I wonder if I can open it somewhere else. Oh, here we go. What is this project called? Called Tanstack Starter. Okay, this is I need to rename this one, but yeah, it's just called Vite. So Vite reCAPTCHA key, and I'm gonna paste in oh, I don't have a key. So we got a little effect here, which only runs on the index page. I'm guessing there's a way in Tanstack to like export some metadata so that I can actually just like put this link on the page. But yeah, maybe not. technically, you want to co-locate stuff. This is only related to the newsletter, so like I could probably put that here to inject the script, which would then load in like the reCAPTCHA stuff. Now, once this is installed, how would you do it? Looks like you do something like this. So there'll be a global, I guess it would be called window. Oh yeah, there we go. Declare global. I'm going to extend the window to add that reCAPTCHA so that when I do window.reCAPTCHA, it doesn't complain. Execute the reCAPTCHA site key. I'm curious, do you actually need this equal signs? Like, why do you need to supply the reCAPTCHA key here, but then you also need to apply it when you do execute? That doesn't seem right, but... Send the token immediately to your backend with the request verify. Then I get the token. This is a promise. Check out this hacky code. Wait, what am I doing? I already have the token. Let's just test this out. I might have to like log into the Google dashboard and like set up a reCAPTCHA account or something. I don't remember how to do it, honestly. But when I submit this, it should contact Google, and then it should give me a token, and then I can pass that token along with my post request to my newsletter. Maybe. Last time I went on Google and I like started clicking around, it exposed like a private key because they don't hide their private keys. So it's like not safe to stream when you're doing Google stuff, unfortunately. So let's try to figure out how. You know what, I'll do it on stream. We'll do it live. Hopefully I don't leak anything. So I went to Google reCAPTCHA. Go back. Gotta share with you all how I'm doing this. I went to introduction. I said get started. Label. This required. Use a label that will make it easier for you to identify the site in the future. Let's make our life harder and not add a label. Score base v3, that's what we want. Domains. I'm going to try to add in the one that we've been working on. And by we, I mean me. Y'all haven't been helping me. Let's add in this. Does it want the HTTPS? A valid domain requires a host and must not provide any path port query. Gotta crack my neck. Is that what they want? This is why you want placeholders, because I don't know what they want here. Add a domain, e.g. example.com. Okay, well, can I add a subdomain too? And then I want, hey, it already knew, beginner React courses. Okay. Let's click submit. Oh, they're forcing me with a label. It should have said required or something. So I guess I'll just put the domain. What that? Oh, there it is. Expose my secret on stream. Because Google just likes you to, you know, if someone's looking over your shoulder, they can just copy this down real quick. Doesn't matter though. I feel like I need a different reCAPTCHA stream. All right, I'm thinking about what I want to do here. because I already have like a reCAPTCHA set up on this domain, and I wonder if I can just use it. Just use the exact same keys, or if it's going to be, if it's going to scan my domain when I'm doing this stuff and like throw an error, or do I have to use this? Y'all having fun? Watching me struggle? All right, let's go, and I'm going to load up a terminal in another window so you guys can see. I don't know if I even have that .env file. I do. Okay, let me go to Railway. I can't share this on my stream because I'll leak my keys too, so. I'm gonna go to web dev Cody. I'm gonna go to my environment variables. If I can find it. Oh, I understand what I was doing. Okay, sorry, I was getting confused. I need to add a reCAPTCHA secret key. I'm gonna grab that secret key. Okay, I'll change it after this video. I know I'm leaking it, guys. It's fine. And then I'm gonna grab the public key. So this is what I'm gonna add to my Tanstack Start app, the public key, and I'm also gonna add the secret key. And those are in my environment variables right now. I just added them in. Okay, and then I want this to actually invoke a Tanstack server function. I'm gonna go over here and make one. I'll say export. Oh, we got an env swap over there. Let me close this. There. Export const subscribe fn, create server function, handler. I think I can add a validator. This thing definitely wants a key. It wants an email and it probably needs a key. So I'm gonna go ahead and say like a token, reCAPTCHA token, z.string, okay. I need to import Zod. Okay, so you'll probably draw a diagram for this, but I want my Tanstack server to invoke a server function. And then my server function is actually going to invoke a newsletter API that I have. Like I have a separate Go application that I can just send emails to. And so basically, you're going to be subscribing to my main newsletter when you use that. Let's use data here. Let's make sure we invoke this. So by the way, if you don't know how Tanstack Start works, they give you a way to basically make like Next.js server actions. They call it server functions. You can make a function here. I think it does have to be exported though, or else it can't be used. So you make a function using create server function. You can give it a validator so that it'll actually do some form of validation when you send in the data. And then you have a handler, which that's when you do whatever you want. This all runs on the backend. Okay, there's some cool bundling stuff going on where they basically figure out what dependencies this thing needs and they like extract it, and then they will run that and deploy that to like their own internal API when you build/run. But now we get the token, we can invoke that server function. We also need the email. So how do we get the email? Well, it's on an input right now, which should have been set. Why is this oh, I think you have to do this. This is something I don't really like about this. You have to pass it data like this, like nested. Kind of interesting, but it is what it is. So this should hopefully work. And then our backend code, when I submit it, should kind of print this out. We'll find out. Let's see. Did it work? Always have your network tab open in case it didn't work, and then clear it out and then request it. This should have made a backend request. So I don't think this request access button is actually hooked in correctly. So let's do a search for request access as a type button. It's nested in the form, so I'm wondering, is this being invoked? Which makes me wonder if is this being invoked? Which makes me wonder if this is being invoked. Why is this not calling anything? Okay, it just doesn't work. Why would that not do anything? Now it's working. Why? No reCAPTCHA client exists. What does that mean? Is this not defined? This thing's defined. It has execute on it. No reCAPTCHA client exists. You're here too. So it's failing here. Let me also just print out this key. Right, so I'm just debugging right now. I try to get as much information as I can. So I'm trying to figure out where is it getting into this code path? What is defined? What's not defined? It's failing obviously between this. It's never printing this, so I know it's failing on this execute command. I just don't know why it's failing on this execute command. So like if I run it again, check out what the key is. We are here too. It's not printing out the key. So vite reCAPTCHA key is never printing out, which is probably what's going on here. I'm checking out my .env file in another terminal so you guys can see it, although it doesn't matter. It's defined, so I'm going to go ahead and just do a hard restart on my service. And yeah, I don't know why it's not working. I think I also have something called public. Do I have something called public env? Oh, because I have to do it this way. Okay. That's kind of annoying. So when you're using vite, you have to use the environment variables like this. So it's a rookie mistake on my part. I apologize. But I think now we have the fix, so we can actually just use that. Hopefully. Invalid site key are not loaded in API.js. How is that the invalid site key though? Right there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and just use AI a little bit. What's up? What's up? Let's go check out chat for a little bit. Elixir editing. I didn't have to get an approval for it, I don't think, unless I signed up for a dev account a long time ago and I got that early, since I'm just using one of their APIs available on the cloud platform. Oh, this is Excel. You switched over. Okay. Any tips on building a SaaS? I would say find like a legit customer before you start building anything. Like get an idea, talk to a real customer who says like he will pay for this. Like don't build anything until like you get it in writing or like you get it like you're pretty confident in what he's asking for. He'll say he'll pay you $20 a month if you build him this thing. Otherwise, you're just like wasting time building something that you may or may not ever get people to subscribe to. Marketing is probably even harder than the actual building part, especially now with AI, like with cursor and vibe coding. It's really not too difficult once you understand how to build a basic SaaS product and like hook in the basics of like Stripe subscriptions, authentication, and then the rest is like, it really depends on what you're trying to build. Hey, thanks for the follow. Exile. Funny how we could try to make a better YouTube today. Maybe JS on the backend isn't the way to go. I'd probably write it and go. Personally, yeah. I mean, if you're trying to do something like YouTube scale, I'd probably be using Go as well. There's a reason why Google, the people at Google made Go, right? And I think some of those issues were dealing with scale and a lot of people, hiring and firing a lot of people coming and going from projects. And I think Go is like their solution to like a simplistic language that works really fast. You can onboard people very fast to it. You should get a VS Code plugin to automatically hide your .env when streaming. There's a few out there. Yeah, the issue is though, if it hides it, I can't read it and I can't modify it, right? So it's good to like, oopsie, I opened it up. But other than that, I still have to go and open it somewhere else so you guys don't see. Does using Zod add more JS sent to the client browser? Can it make sites slower? I don't know if the Zod package is too large. But yeah, I mean, using Zod or using any additional library is going to slow down the client load time. I don't have time to see your videos very often, but I'm here to say I appreciate everything you do, man. Keep growing. Hey, thank you, Hector. I appreciate that. Hector Manuel Munez Flores. Probably butchered his name. But thank you. I appreciate that. Diversity Esports. You were in Networks tab, not console. Okay. Are you using the form component? Tanstack form? I'm actually not using that. I haven't tried it yet. I may try it at some point. Yeah, thank you. I wasn't paying attention to the chat, but yes, that was the issue. How do you set localhost to allow domains list in reCAPTCHA? Did you set the localhost to allow domain list? I'll go and check that actually. Did you use a VPS for the database? Yeah, I'm hosting on the VPS. It's running Postgres inside of a Docker container. Do you think launching fast helps? In all caps. I mean, if you are the first to launch in a market, sure, I think so. Being first to market is typically going to be good because everyone knows about your product first and they'll flock to it. But you have to be like on your game to be able to launch fast, and it also has to work well. I was wondering if you take a stab at it. It has some cool configuration where you can scale your Postgres node and read replicas, which I don't think Supabase supports out of the box. Yeah, I probably, honestly, if it got to that point, I would just use AWS, RDS. Like they do the scaling, the replicas, and the read replicas, and the, like RDS Aurora is pretty good. It's just super expensive. Super expensive. But, I mean, if an application grew to the point where like it couldn't handle the traffic on a single VPS, and like you have tried vertically scaling that VPS, or you want to really just improve like performance, you know, you want like multi-region, and you want to have a read replica on the East Coast or the West Coast, I would probably still just use RDS. I would hope my SaaS product is making more than $100 a month or $50 a month, because I think that's like the lowest amount you're going to get charged for with RDS. At least RDS Aurora with like the lowest configurations from what I've seen. Anyway, yeah, so someone suggested I go to reCAPTCHA, go back to my settings and make sure localhost is there. So Let's do that. The following domain is invalid. Cannot have a port. Let's see if that works. Invalid site key or not loaded in API.js. I think I asked also AI what it says. When there's a mismatch between the site key that you're using and what's configured, or when the reCAPTCHA script is not properly loaded. Looking at your code, I noticed a few potential issues. You're using process. Am I still using that? Oh, I am. Dang. That's probably why. I'm telling you, this. If I vibe coded this, it would have been done. But sometimes you just want to do it yourself. You know, having AI do all your work is it's just depressing. Okay, this yeah, we got the token now. Cool. We're 50 minutes into a stream and we've almost implemented reCAPTCHA. So now we have this reCAPTCHA token and we have the email. So the idea is I want to send over this token to, I need to verify this token. How do I verify this token? Hopefully I can find this in the code that I already have. This is probably calling a server action somewhere, submit form. Where's the token? Subscribe action. Here's the token. This comes from where? Actions, right there. Okay, so I need to revalidate. I need to verify reCAPTCHA, which is going to take in a CAPTCHA secret. I think if I can just go to this CAPTCHA file. Yeah, let's grab all this code. There we go. Luckily, I don't have to do all this like making 20 different files to achieve something basic in Tanstack Start. So we can just use this code right here for right now. We need a secret and we need a token. So we're going to do this. This will just be env. It's a secret, right? So we want to bring in, I don't know what I called it. What did I call it? reCAPTCHA secret key, reCAPTCHA secret key. I'm going to call it this. This is like my file, my little quick little way to like keep track of my server side environment variables. And the way you can whether you can verify the token is you just make a fetch request to this Google API, you pass it your secret, you pass it to your token, which is going to be sent in here from the server function, and then we should get back a success, and if not, we throw an error. So if everything is good, I will refactor this later. Like I'd rather have this be in a different file so that I don't have, like if in case I wanted to reuse it in the future or something. But for right now, let's just keep this simple. So I need to call, what do I need to do? Let me go back. Mailing list endpoint. Okay, so this is how I'm doing it here. URL search params. Why am I doing it like this? Body. So weird. I don't know why I'm doing it like this, but how we're gonna do it. I think this should be good. Like I said, I need to refactor that. But again, what we're doing is like, we submit the form, the Tanstack server is going to contact Google for the reCAPTCHA stuff, and then it sends that token to my server. I verify the reCAPTCHA token with my reCAPTCHA secret, behind the scenes, that's going to contact like Google. So like if I were to do a line down here, you'd probably just get like a Scala draw going. But it calls Google and it verifies my token. And then we get a response back. And if it doesn't work, we'll just throw an error. If it does, I send that email address to my newsletter API and that tracks it and saves it in a SQLite database. And then we should be good. So it's just a matter of like testing this out now. Is there anything I'm missing? I think I forgot to add these things to my actual like environment variables. So now I have to go and look at the .env somewhere else. Oh, I have to go in the Railway and figure that out. So like my web dev Cody domain. I guess I could show you guys this so you guys know. Yeah, I need to do a diagram. This is crazy. So I have webdevcody.com and I have this mailing list. So all the emails, when people type into this newsletter, it's doing the exact same process we just implemented in this video. Or sorry, on this stream. And it takes that data, it does the reCAPTCHA stuff, I believe. Yeah, we have a reCAPTCHA secret here. But then it needs to send that information to my mailing list. But I can't, like the mailing list can't trust every single request, so I have a mailing list password. So if I copy this password, I'm going to put that in my env file and then also the endpoint. I'm going to put that over there in my env file. And then I should be able to go here. I'm going to just refresh this real quick. Delete my console logs. Moment of truth. I'm going to try to just subscribe with a what is up at example.com and see if everything seems like it's good. What are all these WebSocket errors? Okay, we got an error. What is this? I feel like my server didn't like restart properly or something. I don't know. Kind of strange. Hydration failed. I have to figure this one out. I don't know what's causing that hydration failure. Looks like it's here. Amex auto container. Anyway, stay focused. Let's go ahead and submit this. It did the network request, I believe. Right here, you can see if I do subscribe. It did the network request. We got a 200 back. I think that's good. I'm just going to vibe code this real quick. I want to go ahead and, can you please show a thanks for subscribing message after the form was successfully submitted. What is it doing? Is submitted. Okay. If it is submitted, it shows things. Okay, that's good. Good enough. Nice. All right, so how do I check this? How do I know if this actually worked? I can go to my mailing list and hopefully I can check it. I'm not going to show this on stream because I don't want to like leak. Yep, it's there. I got what is up at example.com and test at example.com. And I have two different sites that are all streaming information in my newsletter. Maybe I should diagram this. And this is all because I don't want to pay 20 bucks a month for some like news chimp or whatever other mailing list that might be out there. Okay, so what I just did, if you guys have followed along for the past hour, is I have my domain, so like my course website, and that thing is Tanstack start, right? So at some point, they enter in a form, and that is going to invoke my server function, verifies the reCAPTCHA. Somewhere out there, let's see if there's a Google image. Yeah, somewhere it contacts Google. Generate the token using the reCAPTCHA key. Public key, I guess I should say. Okay, so technically this is step 1. Step 2 is it submits the form with email and token. You guys following along? Okay. Why does this not say step 2? Step 3, the server is going to verify the token. And then the way it verifies it again is it just basically asks Google. So it's going to pass Google reCAPTCHA secret and token to verify. And then if everything's good, I have a database. Wait, no, I don't have a database. I have another API. So like there's another API I do a circle for. This is my web dev Cody mailing list. This is written in Go. Back when I was going through my Go phase, I don't know if you guys remember my channel, I was doing Go for like 2 weeks or a month. I decided to make it in Go and HTMX. So that's actually going to do a request. So send the email. And that's also going to include like a secret password that only my Go mailing list server knows about. So the only way to store emails into my mailing list is you have to know the secret password that this thing knows about. And so I also have like the same approach going for my web dev Cody website as well. And so like the idea is like as I keep building more courses, I plan to have different courses on different URLs. They can all kind of do the same approach, and I can just get like a giant mailing list of emails. And then if you unsubscribe from my email, it just sends the unsubscription like URL here, which will kick you off the mailing list. Are there services that do this already? Yeah, I could probably just pay some service and just like save some time. Let me go back to the chat. What do I do? What do I dislike most about Tanstack right now? The docs are they need some work. The lack of cursor in AI, not truly knowing Tanstack. So like you have to really leverage cursor's cursor rules. So like I have this whole file that has examples of how I want cursor to do server functions, how to make sure they have validators added. Like it didn't even know how to do these links. Like it got really confused when I said add a link, and it like brought in Next.js's links. So the current models are very trained heavily on like Next.js and other approaches, and it doesn't really understand Tanstack start. So like you have to be very, like when you prompt AI and it messes up, that's your signal to come in here and add another rule, give it more context, and you start getting familiar with what's going to mess up on. So you can like prompt it and say, remember, don't get stuck in importing Next.js stuff. That could even be a rule. Never import Next.js related code, please. Sometimes these rules help it, guide it a little bit better. Sometimes it doesn't. What else do I not like about Tanstack start? I think there's some stuff with Next.js that you start missing, like the image component in Next.js is pretty nice. The cards, would you call them cards? Like I haven't dived into the metadata. Like, you know how you can share a URL on social media, and like you can have in Next.js like a metadata function that will like return different things based on the URL. I'm guessing that exists in Tanstack Start. I haven't tried it yet. What else do I dislike about it? I'll think about that. I'm sure there's more stuff I don't really like about it, but so far I think I like it more than I like Next.js. I don't like how it's still beta. Like I like to use stuff that's like version 1.0. One second, let me go ahead and let me commit this. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, that looks good. Have a use effect we don't need. This stuff looks pretty good, I guess. How did you make that web graph on the front page? Vibe coding. This is made using React 3.js. Actually, no, I think it's just 3.js. This is using 3.js, and I literally just vibe coded it. I just kept prompting it and saying, hey, I need you to make a 3D graph of like orbs, and those orbs need to orbit a center sun type of planet. And, you know, I prompted, it would fail. I keep trying to correct it. And then I say, okay, can you please add edges between the orbs? It would add it in. I say, okay, can you please add labels above these orbs? It would add in the labels. Notice they say like portal, uncontrolled, pure components, hooks, hydration, stuff like that. Yeah, so all AI basically. I don't think I even looked at the code. Can you share the code for it? Yeah, I mean, this is all public. None of this stuff is like private. I think it's called Tanstack Course Platform. Let me share that with you. Here you go. Everyone is always hating on Next.js, so it's been tempting me to learn other things. I should probably just ignore all that and keep building, though. Yeah, if your goal is just to build, like, just don't worry about people hating on it. Stay off of X, stay off of the bandwagon. Next.js is still good. Like, it's still a good framework. You can still ship some good stuff with it. There's just some design choices with the framework, and also the fact that like it's coupled to Vercel in some ways. I think if Next.js was just like its own like open source project, I don't think it would get as much hate as it does now. Like the reason I think people hate on it is because they don't like Vercel for some reason. So they hate on Next.js because Vercel maintains it. But I mean, there are some stuff that they did that I personally didn't like the whole caching thing that, you know, Next 15 kind of fixed. Like they went way too heavy on the caching, which is super confusing. Server components came out and people got all up in arms about server components. My goal is to just get a job, but I enjoyed the DX at my current level. Yeah, honestly, if you want... Let me just say, there's nothing wrong with .NET and Java, right? There's an elegance to traditional server-side rendering where like you hit an endpoint, it just renders a template and it sends that template back to the user. It just feels what's the word? Reliable. I think it just feels more reliable when an application just uses traditional server-side rendering. Like when you start getting into the JavaScript ecosystem and then like you have like 1,000 dependencies and all those dependencies depend on thousands of other things. And then like you have frameworks that are pushing beta things like unstable underscore cache, unstable underscore no store, but then they recommend that you use these unstable underscore prefix functions. You're like, wait a second. Why are we using unstable stuff in our code base? Like this feels kind of weird. Like this should not even be talked about until this is ready. Next.js, like the fact that you have to, it like forces you to break out your flow, right? Like for example, when I'm coding in Tanstack, one thing I really like about it is I literally did all this in a single newsletter file. Like, okay, I needed to run some server function code. I just made a function here. I didn't have to go make like a separate file called actions and put a use server directive at the top. I didn't have to like refactor code and make a new file. When I wanted to attach an event listener to a component, I didn't have to go and split stuff out and get an error saying that, oh, you can't use an on-click because you're in a server component. Please extract this out to another file and put a use client at the top. It's like every time you're like in the flow and you want to like make features, you get hit roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, and then a hydration error will hit you and you're like, dude, I just want to make code. Like I just want to make my application. I don't know if other people resonate with what I'm talking about, but like even trying to find a third-party package, you're like surfing the internet, you find a cool npm package, you npm install it, you pull it in, you try to use it, and then it breaks because you actually have to now wrap it in a file that has use client at the top. You have to make like a shallow wrapper component that wraps that third-party library because they didn't put use client at the top of their files. Versus like this, I just made this all in one file, and now I didn't, my flow wasn't broken at all. Now when I want to move stuff out, or if I wanted to like add server-side rendering to this, like, I don't know. There's an elegance of not using what are they called? React components? React server components? There it is. React server components just add additional complexity. And I think from my perspective, since I do a lot of like YouTube teaching, and I would think that a lot of the people watching my content are like more beginners / leaning into intermediate. If I can give them a framework that can like, okay, they just learn React.js and how hooks work and how on-click listeners work and how all this other stuff works. Now here's a framework that you don't have to worry about all this other stuff. You don't have to worry about server-side rendering. All you have to learn about is the router, first of all. That's it. You can still make API endpoints. Super easy to do. And then you can slowly start adopting. It's like, by the way, you can now do server functions. If you don't want to have to like make a completely separate API endpoint with REST, you can actually just call a function here. I don't know. Coco Bunny testing my message. What's up, Daria? How's it going? Ah, man. Okay, we got 13 viewers on Twitch. How many people are on YouTube? What's my YouTube count right now? We are at 72. Cool, not too shabby, huh? You get it. That is the issue, especially with dynamic pages. Now you have to make it a promise. Oh yeah, like the recent change with if you wanted to access cookies and headers, you have to now await them. And now you like, I mean, there's like a code mod file thing you can run to like auto fix your code, but I don't know. And then the recent security thing with like the middlewares. I never liked the middlewares because like I wanted to host on a VPS and then like you can't run certain things because the middleware was written with Vercel in mind, with like the edge runtime. So I was like, okay, I just want to connect to my Postgres database and my middleware. It doesn't work. Like you just can't do it. I want to use Next.js. I want to use Nextauth, and then you follow the Nextauth guide, and they show you how to like add your middleware into your project, and that doesn't work. You're like, dude, why is this not working? Well, it's because you have to be deployed on Vercel. You have to use Edge for this stuff to work. And you're like, dude, a framework is too coupled to the runtime, and that's a problem. How do you have time for uploading videos and side projects and job? I mean, have you seen my videos? Like, they're so low effort. Like, my last video I published, the last 3 edit videos I published, they're like 5 minutes long. Literally, all I'm doing is like, I pick one page of the Tanstack docs, and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to make a video about. Let's just make a quick video about navigation. So then I sit down, I record a 10-minute video, I edit it and publish it. That's it. Like, it doesn't take as much effort to make videos and publish them as you think it would. Especially if you've been coding for almost like 12 years professionally. Like, this stuff is not hard to do. Side projects, I'm just not really working on that many side projects if you think about it. The only side project I'm working on right now is this course platform. And I've been like just vibe coding. So I'll sit down, I'll just prompt AI for 30 minutes and I'll have like 7 new features. And then I'll make a video about what I just added and talk about the code. I won't even mention I vibe coded it. I'll talk about like I coded it, you know? Actually, I'm pretty transparent with when I vibe code. That whole video where I talked about how I vibe coded this entire landing page. Do you plan on actually using the platform, or is it just to learn Tanstack or for content? Say that again. Do you plan on actually using the platform, or is it just to learn Tanstack or for content? When you say no, okay, so I'm sorry. What I'm building right now, this is like legit. Like, you can come in here and you can actually watch my videos. Like, I have 22 videos solving different React challenges problems. They're geared towards beginners. So I'm actually building this so you guys will come and pay me $20 to have 20, I think it's like 21 or 22 different React challenges that you can practice with. I have this course on Gumroad, but I figured why not just like build a course platform so that I can get as much profit as I can from Stripe, because Gumroad takes 10% of all my sales, which isn't that much, but it's a lot more than 3.5%, which is I think the default Stripe percentage. So yeah, I mean, if you guys want to support me, if you're a beginner, you want a couple of like React challenge practice problems, you guys can go and buy my course. There's 23 total lessons. Okay, I think there's actually 21. This one I need to fix. These 2 are just like introductory videos. This one's kind of telling you what the course is about. This one's telling you how to actually like clone the project and understand Tanstack start a little bit, just for the routing aspect. But then I have all these different like videos where we kind of solve these really basic beginner React challenges. And honestly, if you can't solve any of these yourself as a beginner, you probably should know how to solve them because they're not that hard. Maybe down near the bottom they get a little bit challenging. But yeah, this is legit. Like, I'm actually trying to sell a course here, but also make content of how I'm building this course platform. Did you see this? Let me open this on another tab. Hold on. Open source Gumroad. A lot more features shipped. A lot more bugs fixed. And ability to run yourself for very percent. Oh, cool. I didn't know they open source their stuff. Let me check that out. Going open source in 10 days. Oh, it's not open source yet. Okay. Is this accurate? Shopify in shambles right now. Well, yeah, maybe I should just there are some things I don't like about Gumroad. Honestly, like I feel like this alone right here, as I finish videos, I think I'm logged in as an admin so you don't see it, but as I finish videos, like I get a check mark here, like that's something custom I added in. Gumroad doesn't really provide that. Like if I show you my Gumroad course, let's see. Honestly, I'm not making much money off any of this stuff, honestly. I think I've made like $3,000 off this course. I've made like $8,000 off my Next.js starter kit that I never finished, which I probably should before people get mad at me. What was I trying to do? Oh yeah, here. So I'm pretty sure this is like the view people get. It's like, it's so bad. Like you can watch through the videos. Okay, cool. I can do a little bit of markdown and put the videos in here, but that's about it. Like I can't, as like someone who's watching your course, it's nice that I can add whatever custom stuff that I want. And then also like when you finish, like I can show you whatever custom thing that I want to. Just a better experience in my opinion. And I can customize it too. I mean, technically if they open source their Gumroad platform, I could probably try to read through all their code and understand what's going on. But like sometimes just the simplest thing is the easiest thing to do. Like that didn't make sense. Sometimes using the simplest approach to something is probably like the best. I'm getting tired. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, I'll check that out. That sounds pretty cool. What's up, Cody? Server actions versus normal REST API. If you need other third-party things that access your data, you should probably use a REST API. Server actions are like so coupled to Next.js. Like you can't just tell someone, hey, if you want to download like, you know, all the courses or the modules in my platform, like here's the API endpoint to do. Like server actions are gonna make that hard. Did you come across Turnstile, Cody? I have not. I don't know what that is. You guys keep saying Cloudflare Turnstile. Dario, when are you gonna actually like release your game with microtransactions? I feel like you're gonna let us down. Like we want microtransactions. I looked at the stack and it was tan. I will see myself out now. This is like a dad joke. However, would love to see someone write test mockings the router component. Yeah, I don't test mocking the router component. I just think unit testing the front end is just kind of pointless, honestly. Like you're gonna get so much more benefit just writing Cypress tests or playwright tests. Tanstack form is another great library. The way you can create your own form field and use it in use app form is so good. Okay, I'll put that on my list to try out. Again, I'm like scratching the surface of the Tanstack stuff. I don't even understand like a lot of the Tanstack router yet. Bro, what is going on with YouTube chat? It just keeps on failing. Those challenges were such a good inspiration for me to get started on React. To me, it's just like, here's a ticket out of tutorial hell. Oh, did you actually watch through a lot of these? Nihilist 95? Let me know. By the way, if you guys watch through my course, I need to add testimonials to this. Like I have a testimonial section I want to add. So if you've actually bought this course and like did some of my little challenges and you feel like they have been useful and like you feel like I did a good job, give me a testimonial so I can like put it on my landing page. If you didn't like it, just don't reach out to me, because we all know how testimonials work, right? You only pick the best ones and you put them up there. Do you have any experience with GCP? I've never used Google Cloud Compute before. I've always used AWS. Okay, I might end soon. It's 8:45. When I stop starting it again and again because I think it sucks. Yeah, I mean, your game looked good when I tried it, and all the pictures and screenshots you paste are really good. So stop restarting your game. Finish your game, Daria. All right. Anyone want to ask any last questions before I leave? Vibe coding? Oh, is this like super delayed? Hold on, live chat. Hey, thanks for the follow. Yeah, vibe coding is basically just letting AI code everything for you. Yeah, it's just stuff like this. I know I was talking smack about Google before, but it's like simple stuff like, why does it take 30 seconds for a chat message to come in from YouTube versus Twitch? I feel like it takes almost 3 seconds or 4 seconds. I have a question on Tanstack router. Yeah, you can ask it. Will I be able to answer it? That's the real question. How do you share route configs easily? I can't figure it out for the life of me. What is a route config? I don't even know what a route config is. Like, what do you mean by that? You mean like this stuff? I would think that you should be able to, it's just an object, right? So like you should be able to, I don't know, let's just pretend like there's one here. You should be able to export whatever you want, right? So function, or sorry, export const default route config. Is this not how you'd be able to do it? Like, okay, let me just do this for right now. Let me make this a TSX as well so it's not confused. And this could do whatever you want for like a loader function. I mean, I would think you should be able to do this. Why did it just do that? Can you import this? Export const default route config. Import that. Okay. Segments. Yeah, you should just be able to do this. What other things can you add here? You could add like a before. I think there's like a before load. I mean, this probably needs to be typed, honestly. Yeah, that'll be kind of problematic. This TypeScript looks scary. Yeah, I don't know how to get the types for this. I'm sure there's a way to do it. You could do like a type of. Create file route. Just import all this stuff and see what happens. Oh, no, what is this? Holy crap. File-based routes. Oh, yeah, this is what you do. Before load. So you could have like some generic stuff that would run, and then you just spread it into this, I believe. That doesn't seem like it's liking that either, though. Params are incompatible. Anyway, I think it's something like this. I would probably go and join the Tanstack Start Discord, and you can ask questions there. People will give you a much better answer than I could. Again, I haven't been using this for this long, so I don't really know. But when they use params, searching context from that. But if the loader uses context in the params, which would be different for the different routes that share config lives in. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I would bet if I was better at TypeScript, I could tell you. Is there not a create router config? Yeah, I don't know. Definitely join their Discord. They will be able to help you. What I want to do real quick is I do want to publish this out. There, that's my cheap way of doing a deployment. Hopefully it doesn't break. I have a question about RabbitMQ and Kafka. You can ask. I doubt I'll be able to answer those questions. Yeah, the docs are a little bit overwhelming in my opinion. I would just join their Discord and just ask. They have like an actual help. They have like a help section for Tanstack Router, which is I think where you want to ask your question. Yeah, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. I'm glad my stuff is helpful. I like Twitch a lot more than YouTube in every aspect, except for the fact that on Twitch you can't seek through the stream without actually opening the VOD. Yeah, it is nice if you like come in late to a stream, you can rewind it on YouTube and like get a little bit of context. Because otherwise on Twitch you load up the stream and like someone's talking for like 20 minutes and you're like, dude, I have no idea what you're talking about. Or like I'll go watch like the Primogen, he'll just be like cranking out code and I'm like, dude, what are you even building? And then I leave because I'm like, I can't even like follow along. Something I prefer in Next.js compared to Tanstack Start is the layout in Tanstack. It's a bit confusing since there are several different ways to do it. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's flexible, but with the flexibility comes like confusion. Because you can do like a route file. You can do the pathless routes. Which, yeah, it's a little bit overwhelming, I guess. What else is there in Tanstack? I guess I just like how Tanstack feels like you're just writing like a normal Vite app. Like, you know how you do like Vite and create a React application, a single page React application? Tanstack Start feels like that kind of, with like some additional niceties on top of it. The lack of React server components may be one of the deal breakers for some people. I don't know if server components are actually that great. Like the fact that you can co-locate your data loading, you can do that in Tanstack, right? You can make a server function here and then just like use a query to fetch that data or use a suspense query to fetch that data. So when the initial server rendering happens, it'll block until it gets that information. I don't know if we necessarily need React server components to achieve that though, you know? Because the issue I've seen with Next.js is like, let's say you have a page that has like 5 different server components and they all fetch data in different ways from the database. But now there's a button in the UI and they want to click on that button and it should only refresh that one component they're looking at. The way I've seen it doing the Next.js approach is you'd have to call like a revalidate path, which would invoke every single React server component and refetch all that data from the database and send it back down to the UI so it can refresh that small little component that you actually just wanted to update. And you could probably find a way to like make a separate REST API, or you can make a separate server action that you can invoke just to get the individual data that you want. But it's just like the Next docs don't even suggest use server actions for queries. Like it's supposed to be only for mutations. So it's just a bit like confusing because you're like, dude, I don't want to refresh the whole page. I just want to get some more information, but now I can't. Open Prime Stream. Yeah. I don't know, Rodrigo, I would say that like Tanstack is significantly easier than Next.js though. Like once you, if their docs were written a little bit better, like, which I actually offered to like rewrite like an onboarding docs. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. I think it'd be really nice if I did that though. Like, you know, on Next.js, they have like this nice, let me see if I can find it. This is what Tanstack Start needs. They need this like step-by-step guide to walk you through. Let's do here. Like they just need to walk you through, how do I set up a project? What is everything doing? How does all this stuff work? And I think that'd be very beneficial if Tanstack Start had something like this. Like, why are we learning about fonts in Next.js? Like, why is the first thing that we're learning about fonts? Who cares? Like, it's cool, but we should be learning about like server actions first. We should be learning about React server components first. Okay, layouts are important. So I think like learning about layouts and pages is probably the first thing you should learn in a tutorial outside of like setting it up. The routing system. Anyway, I think this is a really good approach to onboarding people. Because right now, like the docs are kind of like crazy. Yeah, just ping me, WebDev Cody, on the Tanstack Discord. Maybe I'll read it too. With Stripe checkouts, is the webhook listener approach viable in production in your experience? Yeah, I mean, it's like, in my opinion, the only viable solution you should be using. I've always gotten events. They seem like they're always pretty timely as well. Because if you, I guess you could try to roll your own thing, which you could just periodically query Stripe to check if their subscription, not their subscription. Yeah, I guess you could check if their subscription is ready. Yeah, I've never had issues with the events. And the worst thing that happens is like, let's say one user out of 100 doesn't get the event. And so like they don't get your purchase. They'll probably email you and then you can go and just like double check in Stripe if they paid with the same email that they say they've emailed or paid with, and then just give them access. I've heard of Lambda functions. Is it the same thing with serverless functions, or is it similar to AWS Amplify? A Lambda function is serverless. Okay, so like when you hear the term serverless, that includes Lambda functions, that includes Cloudflare workers, that includes whatever Vercel's Edge runtime is. Basically, it's just like you don't actually have to go and SSH into a VPS and spin up your application. It's like, here's a little function. I need to have that be ran in some type of way. That's like what serverless is. AWS Amplify is a tool that it's meant to like onboard people onto AWS. So like it wraps all these different things. It abstracts away your Dynamo database. It abstracts away probably CloudFront for like hosting, or S3 for hosting your application. And so it's kind of like it's supposed to just make stuff easier. Like you want an application that works with the database, you can use Amplify to get it all deployed out there. But from my experience, when you start adding too many abstractions on top of stuff, it becomes very, very hard to like tweak. And you're kind of forced to do the things the way that the provider has coded it up with Amplify. I think Amplify has auth as well, which again probably uses like Cognito under the hood. Thoughts on Phoenix Livewire framework for production, looking at branching out and seeking something more responsive while maintaining development speed without a great deal of technical debt. I haven't really used Phoenix Livewire personally. If I had to pick, I'd pick Laravel. I think Laravel also have a Laravel has something called Livewire, which is probably the same as like Phoenix Live View. I think Laravel just has a much bigger ecosystem and community, and I would pick that over Phoenix. But again, don't let my opinion stop you from what you want to learn. Like, I think it's probably still good. I think Theo had a video about it, Stripe stuff having issues a while back, and wasn't sure if that was overblown or not. I have to go watch that video. I don't think I've seen that video, but I don't think a bunch of people would use Stripe if they had issues, personally. Is archery a hobby of yours? It's not. What do you do to blow off steam? This is what I do to blow off steam. Come in here and talk to you guys on live. Other than that, I mean, I hang out with my wife. We watch. Sometimes we'll watch like murder shows and stuff. You know, true crime shows. And then sometimes I'll play games. It's hard for me to play games anymore. Like they're just boring. Sometimes I'll work out. I go through phases of like, I get super serious about working out, and I'll like work out for like a month or two straight, and then I'll just get burned out, and then I'll like get super serious about playing games or something for like a month, and then I'll like drop that. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the stream. Almost 2 hours now. So before I leave, remember there's a Discord channel. Or sorry, Discord server. If you guys go to my other videos, I don't have the link. You can join my Discord if you want to find a place to kind of hang out and talk to some other developers, or like send a message to me as well. You can do that. Other than that, maybe I'll try to stream this weekend or something. And try to stay motivated and keep making YouTube videos for you all, if you guys still like watching them. That's my goal. So hope you guys enjoy the stream. Have a good day. Happy coding.